Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for another day, God. Thank you for an opportunity to come on here and fellowship with everybody and spread truth, God. God, your people are out here starving for truth, and we're starving for some type of consequences for the crimes that we're going to talk about today for these people, Lord. God, I ask that you continue blessing this platform, continue blessing us as a community, God. And like your word says in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 11, let us have no fellowship, Lord, with the fruitless deeds of darkness, but rather let us expose them. You said that in your word. You commanded us to do that in your word, Lord, and we're here to do that today. In Jesus' name, amen. There's two sides of the Illuminati. And I'm about to show you guys Jeffrey Epstein himself talking about it. This is one of his last interviews, if not his last interview. And he openly talked about something called the Trilateral Commission, which is still in place today. I actually have a full article on it right here. And I don't have time to go through the members and all that, but I'll put a link to it in the comments if you want to go check it out for yourself. Listen to what Epstein had to say about this Trilateral Commission. I believe that this is the white side of the Illuminati, and the Boule Society is the black side of the Illuminati, which we're going to talk about in a second. Check it out.
He formed something called the Trilateral Commission. The Trilateral Commission is some spooky stuff. People said it was some of the people that the Illuminati, there's some mystery about it, people that ran the world.
He openly talking about this. Could this be a reason, if he is not here any longer, could this be a reason why? Who knows? Let's see what he got to say.
It was politicians, but David said most countries, the politicians get elected for 4 years or 8 years, separate from the royal families in England or in the Middle East. Someone's there for 4 years and then they're not there anymore. The most important people to have stability and consistency would be businessmen. So he formed this Trilateral Commission of businessmen and politicians from 3 major continents. So it was
crazy. He just
North Americans, the Europeans, and the Asians.
Think about that.
So he said,
think about that. Politicians, businessmen, some of the most influential people in the world. You don't think that they have some type of sect for entertainers? You don't think so? Why wouldn't they? Entertainment is the greatest export America got. We don't produce nothing, but we produce entertainers. We don't have a whole bunch of natural resources, but guess what natural resource we do have? Distraction and entertainment. Even the presidential elections are entertaining to the other countries in the world. So all of this is crazy. He's just openly talking about it, man. Let's keep going.
To me, would you like to be on the Trilateral Commission? No. I was 30 years old, 32 years old. I said, great. And he said, well, you have to fill out this application so they have your bio. And I looked at the list of people, and it was Bill Clinton, former president of the United States.
Wow. See how it all ties
Paul
together?
Volcker, every great leader in America, the Asians, the Japanese, and with a very long description of their history. And they asked me to fill in what I would like to have written. And I wrote Jeffrey Epstein, comma, just a good kid.
Do you guys understand what he's talking about right now? And do you understand the power of these people? See, and this is why I keep telling you guys, stop that left, right, Republican, Democrat. Stop the nonsense, bro. It's one bird, 2 wings. But it's still one bird. And when you hear them talk about it this openly, behind the scenes, these people are collaborating. This is why you see Trump and Obama, no matter what they say about each other in the media, you see them rubbing elbows at Jane's funeral and laughing with each other. Sitting right next to each other. Meanwhile, you about to cut your cousin off because they voted for Trump, or you about to disown your kid because they say they like Obama. You arguing with somebody about politics, and the whole time these politicians are trying to figure out behind the scenes how they can come together to control the world on 100-year plans. That's what's really going on, bro. But ignorance is bliss. Some people like being caught up in the Matrix. Like the Matrix, in the movie The Matrix, they said that. Some people will fight to defend the Matrix because it gives them their comfort. You don't remember when Buddy in the Matrix, if you've seen the movie, when he was eating the holographic steak and he like looking at the steak and he like, I know it's not real, but why does it taste so good? That's a lot of y'all.
Which I thought was funny. Nobody else did.
He ironically said, I wrote Jeffrey Epstein just a good kid. And I thought it was funny, but nobody else did. Because he know he on some BS with that.
So answer to quick.
It's crazy, man.
He formed something called the
It's crazy. Like I said, I have an article on what he's talking about, the Trilateral Commission, which is still in place right now. And its members and different things like that. They have it. It's public knowledge. They have a website. You can go check it out. And I'll put a link to it in the description. But I want to show you guys another clip real quick of this woman that's claiming to be Epstein's niece. And she's saying that she has some behind the scenes information on how all this works, and nobody believes her because of who it is, but yada, yada, yada. But I want you guys to be able to hear from her and deduce your own opinions from what she says. Check this out.
And foreign and entertainers.
I think the viewers would be very curious then about Jeffrey and what's your view on his role in the apparatus?
My understanding is that he, I met him in Aspen in 2007. And that was a reintroduction. My father said, "Hey, remember your Uncle Jeffrey?" And Jeffrey said, "Hey, Anya, it's great to see you again." Jelaine was there. What they told me was that Jeffrey worked for Stephen. And as I've said, he is guilty for what he did to those teenage girls here in New York City and down in Florida.
Clearly.
And St. Andrews.
Which we already knew.
But I do not believe he was in charge of orchestrating what has been going on in our family for generations.
Generations, she said this has been going on. So when you hear Ice Cube say this is one big club and he not part of the club, you got to know who the
Some of you may not have realized that I'm not part of the club. And a lot of you listening to me right here, right now, you're not part of the club either.
That's what he's talking about. There's a club. These people have 100-year plans. So when she's disclosing this and she's saying, hey, it's generational, and you hear Cat Williams also saying in the clip that I played you guys that, hey, this has been going on since kings and queens days, which there's still kings and queens out there. But, this has been going on since thousands of years. There's been Epsteins throughout the generations and generations. She's confirming that. If this is truly, if she is who she says she is, which I've listened to a few different things from her, and I believe she's credible. I'm trying to get an interview with her for you guys.
With my experiences, I believe he wanted to talk more about the other parties involved. And I know he didn't kill himself.
Okay.
I'm not sure whether they let him go and get plastic surgery and flee the country, or if they did kill him. But I do believe he was a pawn, and that his story blew up in the media to keep people from looking beyond him. If Jeffrey was the one villain
that makes a lot
in charge of it, then, he's dead. It's all over. Everything's good now.
Right.
And that leaves my father free to continue 3-year-olds.
Wow.
and running Viacom from behind a veil while his paralegal runs his divorce practice.
She says that her father, who's the big OG Epstein, according to her, is running Viacom behind the scenes. That's what her words are. Viacom is a huge company. If you don't know who Viacom is, go look it up and see all the companies that they own, all the media companies that they own. But she says that she believes Jeffrey Epstein was a pawn, that it's like, okay, Epstein's, we could say that he's dead. According to her, give him some plastic surgery or let him go to another country and live the rest of his life out or whatever. And if he's gone, then nobody else keeps looking because, oh, he was the big fish. We got him. That sounds reasonable to me. We talked about the Trilateral Commission and Epstein spoke about it and we went through that. Now there's a black side of the Illuminati called the Boule. Allegedly. We don't know, but this is what people say. And so there's been articles done about this society. It's a black secret society of elites called the Boule. If you never heard of the Boule, according to the article, that's probably because it's by design officially known as Sigma Pi Phi. The Boule was founded in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in 1904 by Dr. Henry McKee Minton and 5 of his colleagues. I actually remember watching The Godfather of Harlem. You guys seen that with Forrest Whitaker? And there was a few episodes where it reminded me of this, where Forrest Whitaker, who plays Bumpy Johnson in the series, went and talked to some guys that looked like these guys, and they were judges and they were, politicians, and they were like, we're a secret society. We're going to work with you. We're going to help you out, but we can't never have to come back to us and da-da-da-da-da. And Bumpy had to take like a blood oath, and it was like very mob style type of things going on behind there. And so they have a council of what they call a council of chiefs or advisor to kings. And so the Boule was, for much of its existence, an elite, invitation-only secret society for black men of high regard. Members are chosen based on their professional accomplishments and community standing. Who does that sound like? That sounds like a lot of our entertainers, right? From the Diddy's to the Jay-Z to you get chosen, which one of our more influential figures has tatted on his back. Who's the guy with chosen tatted on his back, but also has the symbol of the Boule tatted on his chest? LeBron James. Remember, he tweeted Saturday, I took a Pilates class, yoga classes, swimming at auditoriums back home. I can't tell you exactly where it was at. It's a secret place. We hold a secret society over there. We don't tell too many people. You remember when Jay-Z was saying, we gonna start a society within society. That's major. It's like the Negro Leagues. There was a time America wouldn't let us, whatever. Those times are now back. It's called Afrotech. Generational wealth. That's the key. My parents ain't have ish, so that shift started with me. So a lot of these people wouldn't be, you're not thinking about it because you're like, yeah, they black successful, black power, black this, black that. This is why you would see probably, maybe, possibly Sean Combs, Diddy, getting that honorary degree, honorary doctorate degree, PhD from. This is why you see a lot of stuff going on, maybe. So in 2011, a political researcher and speaker named Steve Coakley called the Boule an illegal criminal enterprise full of black complicity in this centralization of worldwide power, the New World Order. So he's the first one to say these people are not just they're not just successful black people coming together. They're actually the black side of the Illuminati, essentially. Coakley accused the Boule of being in cahoots with white power structures to keep wealth and power limited to a very small part of the population. This is something that I've heard Dame Dash say about Jay-Z. And people say, oh, Dame is a hater. They say everybody's a hater that says anything. But Dame said that people believe that they can become successful. And the reason that these people are put in these positions is for this reason, to make people believe that you could do what Jay-Z did. You could do what Sean Diddy Combs did. You could do what LeBron did. But what those dudes did behind the scenes, you're not willing to do. And he likened it to being slaves on the plantation. Dame said, It's like being a slave in the field, and then one gets elevated to the house, and you go, see, and the master tell you, see, if you just do what this one did, you'll come in the house one day too. But they're never going to let you in the house because you're in the field, and you're always going to be in the field. And you'll never be nothing more than that. And they don't want you to be nothing more than that. They only got this one guy right here to give you a figurehead to say, hey, if you do the things that we want you to do and keep doing it the way we tell you to do it, one day you'll benefit from it, just like this guy, this one that we put here. But their goal is only to have that one there. And he was talking about Jay-Z in this situation. Jay-Z is somebody that's been accused over the years, and we've heard these accusations about Jay, of, being in the Illuminati. And so there was one reporter, one writer that wrote about Jay-Z having, his name is Mitchell Horowitz. Mitchell Horowitz wrote that Jay-Z is a master of occult wisdom, right? And this is an old article. He's been saying this for a decade. In an interview, Horowitz pointed out Jay-Z's use of the phrase, quote, peace God as an allusion to the 5 percenters, also known as the nations of the gods and earths. They teach that the original black man is God and that all men are potentially God. Peace God is a typical 5 percenter greeting. Okay? People knew that. People knew Jay-Z might have been around the 5 percenter. We've seen the chains that he would wear and different things like that. Horowitz said a phrase like peace God doesn't find its way into someone's vernacular by accident. He's making a very definitive statement. Jay-Z's connection to the occult may extend a bit further. Said in the video for Run This Town, he's pictured wearing a sweatshirt with the phrase do what thou wilt printed across the chest. Yes, this is what Horowitz said. He said, yes, that has very deep roots in modern occult culture. The full expression is do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. That was one of the key maxims of the British occultist Aleister Crowley. So when Jay-Z appears in the hoodie with the phrase on it in public, that's exactly what he's referencing, according to Horowitz. He said, I would say that a figure like Jay-Z is probably borrowing some of this material. And he said, I think he's a very shrewd man. I think he's a keen observer of everything going on around him. He's a master at using subversive imagery. You do not find your way to 5% material unless you're very aware of what's going on around you. So Jay is somebody that has been accused of being in this elite fraternity for years, which some of you guys, I see you guys a lot in the comments. And I know that you guys have always said, look into the Boule. And I've done videos on the Boule and different things like that before. But with Epstein saying what he said about the Trilateral Commission, it naturally leads us to talk more about the Boule, right? 50 Cent has responded, and he's calling Jay-Z or insinuating Jay-Z is a predator as well, which we've heard these different things about Hov, being in that spotlight. And like I always say, man, we have the right to ask questions about anybody. I don't care who. I don't care if it's Jay-Z. People ask questions about Jesus Christ and want confirmation on those things before they just believe it. So you think we not going to question Jay-Z? Get up out of here, man. 50 Cent posted this picture of Jay-Z, his face photoshopped on Predator, the movie, if you know the movie Predator. So 50 is funny for this. And so 50 said, I know you're going to say I'm a hater, but what do you say about what he's saying, fool? LOL. He said, get your ass down the street. And what he's referring to, because he was playing a song, I can't play it on the live stream or they'll take the live stream down, but 50 was playing a song from Jay-Z and Pharrell, in which Jay-Z has some lyrics that were very questionable to people. The song is called Young Girl, okay? / I Really Like You, but the song is called Young Girl. And Jay-Z comes in verse 3, right? And his lyrics are, Hov got a young girl, Hov got a young girl, still not quite 21. So high strong, such a vibrant thing. I introduced myself. Hi, Miss Thing. You're 19. You're lightning in a bottle. I'll give you a ring tomorrow. The scene that follows screams of horror. Classic Stephen King novel. What does that mean? What does that mean? Hov got a young girl, Hov got a young girl, still not quite 21. So high strong, such a vibrant thing. I'll introduce myself. Hi, Miss Thing. You're 19. No, you're lightning in a bottle. I'll give you a ring tomorrow. The scenes that follow Screams of horror. Classic Stephen King novel. What? What is he talking about? What is Jay talking about when he write that? Mind you, this song came out in 2006. Jay-Z in 2006 was 37 years old. Talking about a 19-year-old girl. Writing like, what is this about? What does those lyrics mean? Somebody explain it. And that's what 50 is saying. What is he saying right here? Y'all talking about I'm a hater for what I'm saying, but what is Jay saying on these lyrics? If you can't get mad at some things and not get, and look, man, if you're going to call out some stuff, you got to call out everything. Don't pick and choose. It's like when people say, why don't you say nothing about Donald Trump? Bro, I put a bunch of videos about Donald Trump and the Epstein files up. You don't watch them. It's not my fault that you watch this one and you don't watch that one. Says the lyrics from Jay-Z said, "Mama don't think you should date someone so advanced in romance. You should just wait." Maybe he's talking about Beyonce in these lyrics, because I know it seems like Beyonce's mom never likes Jay-Z. She always likened things that when Jay-Z got accused of essaying a little girl with Diddy, and that, remember that lawsuit? And Tina Knowles liked the post. And I guess Jay had to call her and ask her to stop doing that type of stuff or something. That's how she said it. She was like, Jay asked me to stop liking that stuff. I don't know what I'm doing, but you kind of constantly do it. Anyways, the lyrics say, "Mama don't think you should date someone so advanced in romance. You should just wait. Papa don't preach. Hove don't bite. Hove been through it. I might mold your life. Plus, I'm going to show you, right? Proper etiquette, how to hold your knife. Keep you competitive with Oprah's ice." These are Jay-Z lyrics. Oprah, somebody else that's been tied, and people have said that she's just as involved in the Epstein stuff as anybody else. Keep you competitive with Oprah's ice. Be like Janet. Take control of your life. When people hear these lyrics, they go, yeah, he got to be talking about Beyonce, because before Jay-Z, Beyonce used to do interviews. She used to talk. We used to see her in public. I always thought it was weird, too, that Beyonce, out of Beyonce and Jay, who do you think benefits more from that relationship, business-wise? I would say Jay. Because when your wife is invited to the White House to sing and she asks, can I bring my husband? Nobody could say no. I think a lot of people that's around this, and I did this in the breakdown in the live stream that we did about the women, the female Epsteins. I believe that a lot of people don't like Jay-Z behind the scenes, but they tolerate him because Beyonce. Imagine Jay-Z without Beyonce right now, career-wise. When I did, there was a report that Jay-Z was accused of money laundering, and I did a live stream on that. And if you remember, the politicians that were accusing him of money laundering through his nightclubs and different businesses for the Mexican cartel, go watch that live stream that I did on Jay-Z and the money laundering stuff. When he was accused of that, the politician said that one of the key tokens that he was using to get them to do what he wanted them to do, that he was bribing them with, I'll let you meet Beyonce. And the politician, he was trying to get them to vote for his casino to pass. And they said, no, I don't want to meet Beyonce. And they put him on blast and did articles and interviews about it. So, like, nobody's hating on Jay. I love Jay music. But what is these lyrics talking about right here? Somebody explain it to me. And that's what 50 Cent is saying when he posted this. He had the song playing behind this picture. And this is why Jay has been accused of being a predator so much. To be honest with you, he got accused, like, bro, Foxy Brown, Aaliyah, Beyonce, Rihanna, the Rymir Satterthwaite's mom, the guy or the man, he's a man now, but the man that's saying that he's Jay-Z's son and Jay-Z won't take the DNA test. And he's been trying to get Jay-Z to take a DNA test for years in court, filing lawsuits and different things, everything that he can think. Not looking for money, just looking for a paternity test that Jay-Z refuses to take. All these different women that Jay has been around, that people have made rumors that he was sleeping with them or messing with them, not sleeping with them, but maybe messing with them or courting them or grooming them before they was 18. You get these allegations a lot, bro. You're around every person that's named in these files. Bobby Shmurda had responded to 50 Cent posting this. Bobby Shmurda, another rapper. If you guys don't remember, if some of you guys don't know who Bobby Shmurda is, but for my ones that don't, it's just caught a body about a week ago. Y'all remember that about 10 years ago. He had that huge song where everybody was doing his dance. And he said to 50 Cent, in response to this, you the realest OG in the game. Facts. The rest of these N words is PUSSY. He said, F Jay-Z and the whole Op Nation, talking about Rock Nation, Jay-Z's company. Bobby Shmurda was around Jay-Z and signed to Rock Nation, and he said that he believed that Jay-Z was sabotaging his career and fueling allegations around Meek Mill and Diddy rumors as well, because Diddy and Bobby Shmurda walked away from Jay-Z. So Bobby Shmurda questioned the legitimacy of the rumors surrounding an alleged relationship between Meek Mill and Diddy during an interview that he did. He said the allegations the Diddy allegations and Meek Mill stem from some lawsuits that happened saying that Diddy and Meek Mill was sleeping together or something like that. And Meek has some weird pictures matching outfits with Diddy. So that's a whole nother story. But Bobby Shmurda said, I'm going to tell you what's going on with Meek Mill. I left the team that Meek was on. Meek left that team. Talking about Rock Nation. Bobby Shmurda said, if you leave that team, they come for you. He said, it's like a relationship with these labels. It's like leaving a girl with a lot of power. She's going to try to make your life a living hell. She's like, we own the internet. We're going to spread all the rumors about you. I'm going to pay for 3,000 comments, making jokes, bots. He also revealed that he's been through something similar. He said, they tried to call me gay. I F the most women ever. Like, come on. For real, I'm not even mad at them doing it. It's the ones that believe it that he's mad at. And so Bobby Shmurda said, he tried to ruin, when I didn't want to be signed to Jay-Z anymore, he tried to ruin my career. I would ask questions. When I see this type of thing, I always go back to, how come J. Cole never talks about being signed to Jay-Z and how much he loved it? How come Rihanna never comes out and you don't see them around Jay? 50 Cent made a comment saying that Jay don't be around nobody that's not making them cool. And we just saw something I don't have queued up, but we just saw LaRussell, a rapper from the Bay, young rapper from the Bay, who has made his name very big off of being an independent. He just signed to Jay-Z and Rock Nation. So salute to LaRussell, L.A. If you guys don't know, LaRussell is spelled with an L.A., not Little Russell, LaRussell. He dope. And he's from the coast. But I think that it's interesting that he signed over there and he's excited about it. And he said that his mom, in an interview that he just did, he said his mom was pretty worried about him signing over there because of everything that comes out, all the information around Jay. And I don't think that LaRussell's going to have a problem over there while he's signed to Jay-Z. I think the interesting thing about Rock Nation, everybody over there, it seems to only be a problem when people try to leave. When people try to walk away from doing business with them is when you start to see a problem. And that's what Bobby Shmurda is saying right here as well. So as a side note, I hope you have all the success over there in the world, bro. And I really do love what you're doing. And I got a lot of respect for LaRussell. But, over there, they have a reputation, bro. So, and they tried to screw LaRussell before, he said, but he ended up getting the business right with him or whatever. So God bless you, bro. I hope that you do what you can do over there and take it to the moon. Because I do think he's a good dude. Now, Jay has been around pretty much all of these different predators, to be honest with you. These dudes, there's no other way to describe these dudes. Harvey Weinstein, R. Kelly, different things like that. Bill Gates, Jay was around, right? We saw Bill Gates and Jay-Z together. Let me see if I got that clip queued up for you guys. Bill Gates and Jay-Z was around together in the studio. Give me 1 second. Let me show you guys the clip back in the day. And we talked about Bill Gates a lot on this live stream here. Look at this video of Bill Gates and Jay-Z in the studio together.
Big pimpin', I'm Bill G. Big pimpin', yeah, you know me. Got it. Killed it.
See, so like Jay was around.
Billy G. Hey, let me get one thing straight with you. You can retire and then unretire? Exactly. Got to keep them guessing. Thanks, Jay.
So Jay and Bill Gates been around each other. You've been around. You in the Epstein files for whatever he was accused of doing some stuff with Harvey Weinstein in the Epstein files. And then if you go just Google a simple Google search of Jay-Z and Harvey Weinstein, and you'll see that Jay got 100. He got more pictures with Harvey Weinstein than I got with my dad. And my dad raised me. My dad was a very present father. But dang, Jay, you got a bunch of pictures with Harvey Weinstein. Dame Dash put up a post saying that he smacked Harvey Weinstein back in the day over something that happened over, I guess Harvey Weinstein was being perverted with a woman or something like that. on the Paid in Full set. Paid in Full is a movie that Dame Dash was creating at that time. Dope movie, hood classic in general, not just a hood classic. It's a classic in general. But Dame Dash responded to slapping Harvey Weinstein. He put this video up, and he always tries to separate himself from what Jay was doing in business to what he was doing in business. And some of it is valid. A lot of it is valid because Dame always seems to be on the right side of history. He always sounds like people try to paint him as a hater, at least. He always sounds like he has something disgruntled to say in the moment, but when history looks back, they always go, Dame was right about this.
Because there are women that are being abused. Mm-hmm. So, I'm, you know me, I'm all about investing in women. I would never violate. I do shoot my shot, but no is no.
That's right.
You know, so, morally, he shouldn't have did that, or he might not have been tried to say certain things. But I would never do anything that's against the law, and I would never violate.
I don't think people know. One time you pressed Harvey Weinstein for harassing a woman on set or something like that, right? Or am I getting the story wrong?
Stuff like that. It was things like that.
Yeah,
a couple different reasons I pressed him. I used to press him a lot.
Yeah.
But we were in the same circle. You know what I mean? We owned a club together called Socialista, but I never seen him put up his bread. And he used to be doing slick shit in the bathroom. Like, what are you doing, man?
Who, Harvey? What you mean slick
stuff in the
Dame
was around.
In the kitchen. I'd be like, I can't even eat in the kitchen because I don't want to get it.
What do you mean?
Dame real.
Press him.
I used to press him.
I don't know. I think Cam or somebody told that story. You pressed him because he was harassing a woman or something. You was like not here on this set or something like that.
Well, that was another situation. Somebody got smacked on the Paid in Full set, but
that's what it was. Yeah. Yeah, Dame, I don't know if it was you. Somebody smacked Harvey for doing that.
I didn't. Nobody. It wasn't like that, but somebody got smacked. But
so this story has been going around hip hop for a long time. Since Cameron said it in a song, he said some lyrics about this in the song, and so Dame was like, he posted this on Instagram, like, yeah, I smacked Harvey Weinstein. He always said that Jay-Z was weird when it came to these predators, and that kind of caused a rift in their relationship as well, because Jay-Z wanted to do business with R. Kelly after knowing that R. Kelly was a predator. Dame said this in an interview. I don't know if you guys ever seen this.
R. Kelly, there was a conversation had about the moralness, like it's morally wrong to do a project with someone that we know raped my girl or raped anybody for that matter. So I do know that conversation was had, and I was really surprised that he moved forward with that relationship. I don't know Epstein, so I never had the chance to.
Imagine if your homie, your business partner, somebody you consider your best friend, find out that your girlfriend was raped by somebody else, and they like, I rock with him, no, bro. Like, bro, you gonna be like, what?
Walk away from him. But I do know that when that project did come out,
see if we can get this to play. He essentially just said when the project came out with Jay-Z and R. Kelly that he didn't want to have nothing to do with it.
I didn't want any part of that project. I didn't want any of the money to go to Rockefeller or me when it came to Rockefeller. It was around the time that Jay was trying to kind of separate himself from us. And he was saying that he didn't want to be a part anymore. And we resolved that issue with, look, if you want, because he wanted me to dilute and he wanted Biggs to dilute. And I wasn't diluting because I know what I mean and what I do for business. Mm-hmm. But
so that's pretty much what he was saying. Somebody else that said Jay-Z was weird for the R. Kelly, being around R. Kelly and these predators and different things like that was Nas. Y'all remember when Nas had this to say about Jay-Z?
No movies. I said, that's not my style. That's not what I'm going to do. Could I put up movies? I could have showed the R. Kelly video that everybody's talking about, made fun of it, and said, yo, Jay's hanging out. When Jay and I was in there doing Vegetable World, you can't tell me Jay didn't see a 14-year-old girl come in the studio and shit on R. Kelly's rap. Yeah. You can't tell me, you want to sit here and tell me that working on that album, that he ain't never seen a 14-year-old girl come in the vicinity?
My belief is that anybody who's worked with him and been in his cypher has seen it go down.
You've seen it go down.
Yeah.
It's wrong.
You seen it go down. It's wrong, Nas said. And I believe that. I don't believe you could do a tour and 2 albums. I think Jay and R. Kelly did 2 albums together or 1. And y'all in the studio together that much. That's what Nas is saying when he says best of both worlds. That's what it was called. And so you doing tours and albums with this dude, you ain't never seen nothing. And then how does your name keep popping up around all the predators, bro? Harvey Weinstein, Epstein, Bill Gates, R. Kelly. Like, At some point, we got to sit back and say, hold on, bro, we got to question this. This is not normal. Like, you don't normally isolated incident where it's like, okay, well, he was doing business with Harvey Weinstein. Everybody was doing films with Harvey Weinstein. It makes sense. Okay, cool. Well, you was around Bill Gates too. Okay. In isolation, nothing looks weird. Then you was around R. Kelly too. In the midst of R. Kelly's wildest allegations, where there was the tape that was running around the streets and you knew about this, and everybody knew about R. Kelly marrying Aaliyah when she was 15 years old and sleeping with her and different things like that. And you still, and then Dame is saying like, yo, behind the scenes, I was telling them like, I ain't cool with this. I don't think we should do this business-wise. And you like, nah, we're going to do it anyway. And then all the other stuff that just comes surrounding it. The rumors of the women that were young women before they were teenagers, allegedly, when Jay was around them. At some point, we got to be like, we got to be able to question this stuff. I know he rap good. Jay rap dope. He rap. He in the top 10 rappers, top 5 rappers, maybe for some people all time. As far as being able to rap, we know you make good songs, bro. R. Kelly makes great songs. R. Kelly is the greatest. I think R. Kelly is the greatest songwriter of all time. Am I not going to listen to Step in the Name of Love just because R. Kelly's a pervert, allegedly? Which I think I don't even know if I have to say allegedly, but I'll say it for the sake of safety. Do I not listen to Step in the Name of Love or Chocolate Factory? I'm still going to listen to it. I love the music. But does that mean I'm going to negate the fact that you a perv? Or say like, nah, that ain't really, he ain't that. Bro, where there's smoke, there is fire. And I ain't going to allow me or anybody else to that listens to me to think that it's not. And saying that we haters and we want to see Jay-Z down bad and we hate black people, and come on. Nobody hates black people. Nobody want to see Jay-Z fail or fall for the sake of his name being Jay-Z. I'm rich too, bro. I'm not poor. Like, I'm going to be real with y'all. We in my mansion right now. I'm in the office of my mansion right now. I'm not poor. It goes back to the question that I asked earlier in the live stream. If you have $500 million, are you jealous of the guy that got $2 billion? No, we live in the same lifestyle, bro. There's nothing in the world let me tell you guys something, man. After a certain amount of millions, there's nothing in the world that you can't buy. There's nothing after 100 million, maybe it's about 100 million. There's nothing in the world that you can't do that anybody else in the world can't do. It all becomes a play for power at that point. That's all we playing for at that point. Who can get more power than other people? Because we can't financially, I know it's hard to fathom for a lot of people, but there's some things that money, like it's just money, man. After a certain amount of money, you stop being jealous of people with money because what can you buy that I can't buy? Things only cost so much. So why would I be jealous of you because you have money? It don't make sense. But people can't fathom that because when you don't have much, it makes it hard to believe. But that's the truth, guys. So ain't nobody just hating on these people. This is just what's really going on. It's weird stuff going on, man. And the Bible says in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 11, man, have nothing to do with the fruitless deeds, the fruitless deeds. There's nothing, meaning that these things produce nothing. These deeds produce nothing. The fruitless deeds of darkness, but rather expose them. That's what I do on this platform. I try to show you guys what true success is and what's the illusion of success. What's the optical illusion of this? That's not real. Success without God is not real. Psalm 127 in the Bible says, if you build the house and labor without God, you labor in vain. The person that stays awake watching over the city and does so without God stays awake in vain. It doesn't matter what you do in this life, whether you have a business building houses or a job working security. Anything you do trying to chase success without God will never be successful. Because success comes from God. Success is operating for the purpose that God created you for. So if you operating outside of God's purpose for what he created you for, you may be able to make some money. You may be able to get some attention and some fame, but you will never be successful because success comes from God. Truth comes from God. You know what makes a lie a lie? Is it not agreeing with what God said? Somebody could be living in sin, but God said you're more than a conqueror. So for me to say you're a whatever, fill in the blank with whatever sin. If God say, no, that's one of mine, then I would be in the wrong. So success is success because God says it's success, not because we say it. We don't determine that, just like we don't determine truth. And so when I see people that are perceived as successful, but I know what it means to actually be successful, and I know that you have to operate for God's purpose for yourself and for the blessings that he give you. God give you blessings for a purpose, for you to steward them and make more of them. That's what the parable of the talents, when Jesus teaches the parable of the talents, that's what he's talking about. God gives you these things so you can go make more of these things and bring back to God and give God the glory. That's why the scripture says, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works, but glorify your Father in heaven. Give honor and glory and say, man, look how good God is in that person's life. That's what God's purpose of success is. To everything God, the Bible says God does everything to please himself. For God, read in Revelations, for God created the world to please himself. You're created to please God as well. When you're not doing those things, you're not successful. And I don't care what the name behind it is. I don't care if it's Jay-Z. I don't care if it's King Tut. I don't care who it is, bro. If you're not operating for the purpose God created you for, you're not successful. And anything you go outside of God to get, you got to stay outside of God to keep. And it may look like you're winning in the beginning, but at the end of the day, what does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? That's all I got for you guys. My name is Will Evans. Hope you subscribe. I hope you like this video on your way out. I'll see you guys on tomorrow's live stream. Make sure you stay blessed by the best. And always remember, God has called you to peace. I'll see you guys next time.